Morning to you, Councillor. Councillor Delamain, are you with us this morning?
Good morning, Madam Speaker. I'm with you.
So lovely to
colleagues.
hear from you. Thank you. Councillor Furness, are you online?
Good morning, Madam Speaker. I'm online.
Welcome, Finance Chairperson. Councillor Gous, good morning to you. Are you online?
Good morning, Speaker. Yes, I am. Good morning, everyone.
Welcome to you. Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Gwaza, good morning to you. Are you online?
Good morning, Speaker. Yes, I'm online.
So nice to hear from you. Very welcome. Councillor Sibabalu, are you online?
Good morning, Speaker. I'm online.
Good morning to you. I hope yourself and your wife and your new baby are doing good. Greetings from us. Councillor Annie Janse van Rensburg, are you online this morning?
Good morning, Speaker. I'm online. Thank you.
Welcome to you, Councillor. Councillor David Kamfer, good morning. Are you online?
Good morning, Speaker. I'm online.
Thank you. Welcome to you, Councillor. Councillor Kannemeyer, are you online?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I'm online. Good morning.
Morning to you and welcome, Councillor. Councillor Leroux, good morning to you. Are you online?
Good morning, Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. Yes, I'm online. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Happy to hear from you, Councillor Liebenberg. A very good morning to you. Are you online?
Good morning, Speaker. After a quick visit this morning at IT, I think I'm able to join.
Thank you so much. Happy to hear that. Good morning, Councillor Matisini. Are you online?
Good morning, Speaker. I'm online.
So nice to hear from you. Very welcome. Councillor Erika Meyer, are you online?
Speaker, Councillor Meyer is on her way to me. She's struggling with her to log in from her home.
Noted with thanks, Elder Lady Writers. Councillor Mvumbu, are you online?
Good morning, Speaker. Yes, Speaker, I'm online. Thank you.
Thank you so much and welcome to yourself. Councillor Mzwandile, are you online this morning?
Morning, Speaker. Yes, I am online.
Thank you so much and welcome to you, Councillor. Councillor Porter, good morning. Are you online?
Speaker, good morning. I am online. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Elder Lady Writers has already spoken to me. Welcome to you, Elder Lady. Councillor Setunsha, good morning to you. Are you online?
Good morning, Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. Yes, I am online.
Thank you so much. Councillor Van Dijk, good morning to yourself. Are you online?
Good morning. I am indeed, Speaker. I'm sitting with the Mayor in the office. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Morning, Executive Mayor. I saw you waving to myself in the chambers. I'm happy that you are here. Executive Deputy Mayor. Colleagues, it's 10 o'clock. We are going to start. I'm just going to ask that Councillor Donovan Claassen, can you open this meeting in prayer for us, please, Councillor?
Will do, Speaker.
Councillor
Don. Yes.
Thank you.
Kan ons oorslek? Trooiemse Vader, dankie vir die dag, Here. Ons bid ook vir vrede in die land waar daar oorlog was, Here. Here, wil ek bid dat die skaatsels gaan wees, Here. En wil jy ook wees, Here, dat die mense wat in die hospitaal is. Here, wil jy aan oor ons elkeen sal hou, Here. Ek vra dit in Jesus Christus naam. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Councillor Claassen. Yes, colleagues, it's a Monday morning, the start of a new week. I'm happy to see all of you online. There's a hand raised. Alderman Poison, I see your hand.
I just want to say I'm also present. I was struggling to come in, but I'm present.
Thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. If you can just kindly lower your hand again. Thank you so much to the municipal manager, all our directors and administrative staff. Thank you very much for joining us this morning at our special council meeting.
Apologies for the mayor, for the municipal manager, Mr. Pierre, and Mr. Knight is acting in his place for the meeting.
Okay. We have Director Naidu, who is acting municipal manager for the purpose also of this meeting. Thank you, Director Naidu. And then I have already indicated we have received an application for leave of absence from Councillor Bavuma, and that is on record. Then we are at Roman 4, disclosure of interest in terms of Schedule 1, Code of Conduct for Councillors in terms of the Local Government Municipal Systems Act, Act 32 of 2000. Can I get an indication if there's any interest that needs to be disclosed from any official, acting MM?
Morning, Speaker. Nothing to declare.
Thank you so much, Acting Municipal Manager. We are then at the disclosure of benefits in terms of Schedule 2, Section 5, Code of Conduct for Officials. Okay, sorry, my apologies now. Roman 4, disclosure of interest for councillors. There were no indication. Roman 5, thank you, Acting Municipal Manager, for the indication that there's none also for officials. We are then at our agenda. Thank you very much. E42nd Adjustment Budget 2021/22 Financial Year Operating and Capital Budget. We have the item in front of us and also the recommendation. Can I have a proposal in this regard, please?
Good morning, Madam Speaker. I would like to propose with the following amendments. We have 5 amendments. One's to operational. That would be an amount of 2,003,275 rand shift from technical services to various directorates. Then there will be, on the capital side, there's a provision for landfill site rehabilitation that will be increased from 2 million to 7,679,339, and that will be an additional capital budget, will be an additional 3 million rand there. Then there will be a donated assets from the Arts and Crafts Centre. That is 1,449,247. Then there is another two changes on the capital budget, that the Volvo Downs land slip be increased from 300,000 to 990,000 rand, and that the Wagenaars Road upgrade is increased by 300,000 to 2.7 million. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I propose.
Thank you, Councillor Furness, for your proposal with the amendments as carried in by yourself. Is there a seconder for the proposal of Councillor Furness, please?
Morning, colleagues. Morning, Speaker. I would second the proposal.
Morning, Executive Mayor. Thank you so much for seconding. Is there any questions of clarity or any counter proposal or questions of clarity made with regards to the amendments also? I see the hand of Councillor Gous, Councillor Botha. Councillor Gous, you may proceed, please.
Thank you, Speaker. Yeah, these type of amendments that come in at the last second on a budget are really difficult to manage because, for example, the first amendment says an amount of more than 2.3 million is being moved from technical to various other expenditure, but we aren't being told what expenditure, and we aren't being told what in technical services now isn't going to be done. If we could please get clarity on that. The rehabilitation to the landfill site, that's understandable. The third amendment, I never caught properly. It was very fast. Sorry, I can't write that fast. The Wolverdans landslip, I understand, is an emergency. We need to address that urgently. And I understand that there are very many unhappy residents in CMU Park that want to take the municipality to court. So I understand the changes that we're making, the increases that we're making to accommodate and rehabilitate and fix Vasana Street. So those are understandable, and I don't understand why they were brought in at the last second and why we weren't given notification of that prior to this meeting. Then, Speaker, if I can just say, as we received the agenda, I had no problem with the adjustments to the budget. In fact, the ACDP really welcomes many of the capital projects, specifically, but not least, the netball court that's now going to be erected in Civic Park. We're excited to see that happening. And we're hoping we're going to see that happen in Ward 9 and Ward 13 and Ward 15 as well. Speaker, then I also had questions on the contractor expenses. We've been, in our quarterly reports, we've been seeing savings on contracted services. And yet, when I look at this documentation in front of me, we're projecting to spend 30 million more than was budgeted on contracted services. I've isolated a few of the items. I see what it's for. I just don't understand how we've been saying we're making a savings on contracted services, and now we suddenly presented with a budget that's 30 million, has to be adjusted for 30 million more. If I could just get answers on that, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Otherwise, the ACDP hasn't got any issues with this budget.
Thank you, Councillor Gous. I'm noting your input with reference to the late adjustments whereby council are being informed with. I will attend to that. Thank you. Can I ask the CFO or the acting municipal manager to please, just in terms of the amendments, if you can just one by one provide clarity to Councillor Gous, and then a second question with reference to the expenses indicated with regards to contractors. CFO, you may proceed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I don't know if you want to give Councillor Botha an opportunity to maybe answer his questions as well.
Okay, that's brilliant. That could work for me. Councillor Botha, you can then proceed with your questions.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's just in regards to the upgrade to the CMU Park Road. Just clarity, is the road Vasana Street? And then also just clarification on the figures about the exact amount of increase, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor Botha. CFO, I then hand over to you.
Thank you, Speaker. Apologies for the late the carrying of the items in late. We will try and address that going forward. Obviously, certain things do pop up. As example, we had closed and sent out all the documents for the Wolverdans landslip, and afterwards there was a great emergency there. With regards to the salary changes, the reason for the changes were that the accounts on our system and on the salary budget was put in one big bulk account. So all this does is now just separate them into the correct accounts. And then the shift will then lead to a change between directorates on the budget and on Schedule B documentation. And it started off in the technical services, streets and stormwater as clarity for Councillor Gous. With regards to the landfill size rehabilitation, for the last 2 years, we've realized unauthorized expenditure at the end of our financial year. It's because we haven't made adequate provisions for the landfill sites and the effective VAS on our financial statements. our financial situation. So we're just trying to preempt it by bringing it into the budget now, so that if there is anything, we can try to put preventative measures in place there. With regards to the donated assets for arts and culture, the reason for that is there's an unbudgeting process for capital that needs to take place, and there was we kind of missed it with regards to the fact that there was donated assets and we didn't budget for it adequately, so we have to make an adjustment for that. Obviously, Wolverdans is an emergency. And then with regards to the Vasana Street, at this moment, the estimate that we had was we budgeted for 300,000, but that was to account for consulting fees at this point in time. Additional consulting fees that the director said we have to get an early start on the project in this financial year before it goes into the next financial year.
Thank you, CFO. Councillor Botha, are you covered with a response with regards to your question?
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker.
Much appreciated. Councillor Gous, can you just indicate there has been answers provided? Are you covered with a response?
Speaker, yes, I am to a degree. I just want clarity. I understand we're now taking money from streets and stormwater, and I can only assume it's from nothing critical, and we're now allocating it to these different expenses. The Vasana Street, my concern there is, in the past, the thinking of the council has been not to expend too much money on that street now because of all the development taking part, not just at Renosterbos and them using that road, but also the development that's happening inside the area as well. There's a lot of houses still being built and so on, and that we didn't want to spend too much money there now that was just going to be eroded by the heavy traffic and so on. Can I just receive assurance, has this municipality addressed the issue of Renosterbos using that road? Are they now going to use their own road? Or are they going to continue using Vasana Street? If we can just get clarity on that, Speaker, then I'm sorted. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your follow-up question. Acting Municipal Manager, over to you.
Thank you, Speaker. I'd just like to comment on the 300,000 rands for Vasana Street. The upgrading of Vasana Street is a multi-year project. Initially, the intention was to start with the designs, the specifications, and all the other investigations as from July onwards. But because there's an urgency, the road is in a very, very bad condition. And Councillor Gous is quite right. There is a lot of activity, construction activity. So you don't want, whilst the construction in progress, for the roads to further deteriorate and obviously be an impediment. But yes, we plan to do the upgrading in conjunction with the developer of Renosterbos. In terms of the traffic impact assessment, they must contribute a certain portion towards the upgrading. So it will make sense for the municipality and the developer to do it at the same time. Otherwise, you can have a situation where the developer constructs a certain portion, and then there is a delay, and then the municipality goes in. So we're hoping to do all of the construction works sort of simultaneously, but the intention of the 300,000 this year is just on consultancy fees, which will be used on geotechnical investigations, designs, specifications, etc. And just on the query around Vasana Street, yes, for now we have stopped the developer from using the entrance via Rail 5. So at this point in time, the developer is using his own entrance. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Naidu, for your comprehensive response. Councillor Gous, I believe that you are covered through the answer of the Director.
I am. Thank you so much, Speaker. I do just want to note that I think the CFO misunderstood me and he answered on salaries when I was actually asking about contracted services that are now 30 million more than projected and initially budgeted. If I could just get clarity on that, then I'm done. Thank you, Speaker.
CFO, there's just one, if you can prepare accordingly, so that we can please conclude with this item. Councillor Porter, I see your hand. You may pose your question.
Thank you, Speaker. Mine is on the matter of Asla Park, and I'm not sure. I could not read about anything here, and forgive me if there is any. I would like the relevant directorate to direct me to that and just take me through there. But it is a concern, the informal settlement and back in Asla, Dube Street, Bangi Street for electricity. We have engaged the municipality in June, I think it was 16 June last year. There was a subsequent number of meetings in that regard. Directorate then came out to the site, and what was indicated to us is that there is about, if my memory serves me correct, two stages or phases where the municipality will provide electricity for the informal settlement. Now that becomes critical because even after those meetings, as we speak, people of Bangi and Ndube-Straat and Zola-Straat is still facing problems with electricity outages. Mine is just to know if there is anything in this budget that I might not come across that the director can just take us through there, and then also the council can assist in that regard. What has been spent, and also how far is this process in order to eradicate the problems with electricity in that area? Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Porter. Councillors, the annexures has been added and sent out with the agenda, and I believe that councillors did peruse that. However, Director Naidu, the question of clarity with regards to electricity for Asla Park, if you can respond to that, and CFO, if you can just give me a thumbs up, did you get the question of Councillor Gous, just to respond so that we can just conclude on this item. Thank you, Director Naidu. I'll hand over to you, please.
Thank you, Speaker. An amount of 4.978 million rand has been allocated by the Department of Energy for the electrification of informal areas. We've spent 2.6 million to date between July and now. We've spent 2.6 million rands. The balance, we intend spending it at Asla D, the area that Councillor Porter just referred to, behind Duba Street. So as we speak, there is contractors on site busy with the electrification. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor Porter. I believe the director has answered your question. Are you covered, Councillor Porter?
Thank you, Director. Thank you, Speaker. I am covered. Again, forgive me if I have missed in terms of, I have an appointment for eye test. So if there is anything, I will probably, after today's appointment, will be able to see that. Just for the record, Asla people, Bangi and Zola Street is still out of electricity from time to time. And I hope that this matter can be resolved ASAP. Thank you very much, leadership.
Thank you, Councillor Porter. I trust Director Naidu, who has indicated that Asla Block D is a priority. And thank you so much, Director Naidu, for confirming that. CFO, over to you to just respond to Councillor Gous' question of clarity.
Thank you, Speaker. With regards to the additional consulting, there was additional funding with regards to the housing, which now obviously has an operational impact. And then there's also additional consulting fees or consulting services that's being used with regards to the safety, as there's a big drive to improve the safety within the municipal area. So there's a big chunk of that for the housing developments, and then obviously there's also then the security as well that became an issue.
Thank you, CFO. You have responded to Councillor Gous. Councillor Gous, you covered.
Happy, thank you, Speaker. Appreciate your patience and that of the Directorate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There is no counter proposal, so item E40 carries you. Councillor Baron, I note your hand. Do you have a question?
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. From the side of the Freedom Front Plus, we understand the reasons for the adjustment budget. So we are happy for all the answers it was given for the adjustment budget, so that we just stay within the policy. So thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. Support there from the Freedom Front Plus. There's no counter proposal, so this item carries unanimously. Thank you very much, councillors. We are then at item E41, proposed amendments to the 2021-2022 top layer SDBIP. Can I please get a proposer in this regard?
Madam Speaker, I'll gladly propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor Furness, for your proposal. Do we have a seconder for Councillor Furness' proposal? Is there a seconder?
Speaker, I'll second that. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Mayor, for seconding the item. Is there any questions of clarity or counter proposal?
Madam Speaker.
Yes, Councillor Buddha, you may proceed.
Yes, Councillor. It's not a counter proposal, but I like just if you can take us there in the diagram, KPIs and then unit of measure unit and then propose amendment target. I want just to follow, we want just to follow the 2, 3, and then 2, 4, and so on, all those figures on your far right hand side of this program. What does it mean in this column? So you know, all of us here who are new, we want us to go through so that we can understand exactly what is happening here. How are you measuring the KPIs, the director, so on and so on. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you so much for your question. Councillor Gous, I'm also going to ask you to pose your question, and then the acting municipal manager can respond accordingly. Councillor Porter, I see your hand. Is it still from the previous question, or do you want to engage here? If not, then you can just lower your hand for us, please, Councillor Porter. Then Councillor Gous, you may proceed.
Thank you. Speaker, I note changes to the indigent numbers, the provision that's being made for those account holders. I see we've adjusted almost, well, all of them. We've adjusted them downward. I know that our chair for finances as well as our mayor were part of a drive to identify persons that were qualifying or getting indigent subsidies but weren't qualifying. So I'm assuming that this adjustment is for that reason. So it's most welcome. I am concerned though that are we going to be using these figures when we prepare our coming budget for the 2022-2023 year? And is there not perhaps a lot of people that have slipped through the net that should be applying that haven't? Has that been taken into consideration when these figures were adjusted? That's my only concern. Obviously not for this budget so much, although there might be applications that still come forward now in the next few months. But specifically, if we're going to be using these figures going into our new budget. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Gous. CFO, the question with reference to the indigent numbers. If you can just prepare to respond to that. Then acting municipal manager, if I don't know if yourself or perhaps the relevant director in terms of the explanation of the diagram with reference to the KPIs, just so that all councillors can understand. CFO, I'm first going to hand over to you to respond to the indigent question.
Thank you, Speaker. In response to Councillor Gouw's questions or concerns regarding indigent, yes, we have and we are taking into account the poor, as almost to say, the poor response from the residents to come and apply. When we initially had these numbers for our indigent, we were basing them on the fact that we anticipated that people would become unemployed as a result of COVID, and that was supposed to have carried through from the COVID year. Unfortunately, we've found that the people haven't come and applied. They haven't come forward to the municipality to do their applications. And we're also currently in the process of going through the numbers of renewing the indigent status of certain of the previous indigents. And because there was 3 years that have passed and lapsed, and obviously we have to reapply again based on our policies and our processes. And we as a municipality, as management, have been unsuccessful in getting those people to come and reapply, to come and do that applications again. So we've now just adjusted it based on our poor turnaround with regards to applications and people coming forward, and that has had an effect on our numbers. Going into 22-23, our goal is not to keep it as low. We want to increase the numbers. We are looking at a different system to ensure that there's more people that fall under the indigent umbrella, so that we are able to assist more and increase this number. So these numbers are going to definitely change for the 22-23 financial year. So the change now is just based on the current trends with regards to the renewing and the application of indigents for the 22-23 year. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, CFO. And you can confirm that your department is also prioritizing drives and efforts in terms of ensuring that we sort of push for indigent drives and applications and getting the community out to come to our offices. Is that correct, CFO?
Yes, that's correct, Speaker. And just I'd like to then highlight as well and indicate that if our residents are not finding success at the debt pack offices, please let us know. And then they're also most welcome to come and pop in at the municipal office here in Mossel, so that we can assist them ourselves, because our guys are very helpful downstairs to try and push that they do qualify for indigent state subsidy if they do qualify. So we'll do everything in our power to assist where we can.
Absolutely. Thank you. I can also confirm, because I'm evident that the officers downstairs really does go out of their way. Thank you, CFO. Comprehensively answered. Acting Municipal Manager, can you kindly respond to the question of Councillor Buddha? I believe Councillor Gous has been covered. Acting MM with reference to the KPI diagram, and just to explain the flow of it. Thank you, MM.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm not sure what the question is, but if there's any adjustments, then obviously the idea is for the adjusted targets to be met by June this year.
Okay.
So you've got the approved target, and then you've got the proposed target. So, for example, if you look at TL40, the approved target under Q3 was 9.4 million in the case of refuse, provision of free basic refuse removal, and it's now changed to 6.6. And then if you look further down, or TL41, quarter 3, the figure was 37.6 million, and it's now changed to 36 million. Speaker, I'm not sure if you want me to go through all of them, but yeah, it's actually quite straightforward.
Yeah, thank you, Acting Councillor Buddha. Councillor Buddha, are you covered in terms of the explanation of the with reference to the approved target and the proposed amendment and how the KPIs are measured? Or is there any follow-up clarity that you need, Councillor Buddha?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. That is why we call this gentleman the Superman. Now I'm covered on that side. But Speaker, in a serious note, we want the CFO must arrange, when the times comes on, he must arrange what you call the official to come to the peoples, especially all the ones who are like Dalmita, Joslov, and so on, who sign indigent. The government must go to the people who are talking about the poorest of the poor here. If you talk an elder, you go to pay 12 rand to town, and then when you come to town, go there in the police station, go this side and this side. When you come back, you never find a remedy there. Please, let's just try to exercise the situation, government to the people who are very serious about service delivery. I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Buddha. I absolutely also agree, and I think it comes back to communication and working together, because if us as councillors communicate in terms of request where it's needed for specific circumstances, for instances, the elderly who cannot pay to come to town, or people who are bedridden, people who just can't get up to walk to our offices. If we know of such cases, if we can just communicate that, because our administration is more than willing to assist in doing home visits. So thank you very much, Councillor Buddha, for raising that. I think also the CFO gave us the assurance that his department will go through great lengths to support. Councillors, if there are no counter proposal or any questions of clarity, then the item carries unanimously, and we are then at the end of the special council meeting with reference to the adjustment budget. I thank you for your time, and may you have a blessed day and week. Go well.
Bye.
Thank you, Speaker.
See you, Speaker.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you all. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker. Where is Nicholas Boyce?
Thank you, Speaker, and good day, everyone.
Thank you, Speaker.